Hey, my fellow nerds, geeks, and or comic book lovers, welcome to my channel. My name is NeuroSpire369, and today we'll be taking a look at the comic book storyline, Toy With Me. So without further ado, let's get dangerous. Toy With Me was published as one of two stories in 2011's Darkwing Duck Annual number 1. It was written by Ian Brill and penciled by Sabrina Alberghetti. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Anyways, we begin in the home of one Aloysius J. Mendelbaum, inventor of the molecular digitizer with which he created the Wiffle Boy series of video games. Having since been let go, Mendelbaum idly speaks of his past successes to a visiting house guest, and how the company's new World of Wifflecraft MMORPG essentially drove him out of his old job. His guest, however, turns out to be the villainous Quackerjack, who turns the digitizer on Mendelbaum and turns him into a toy. After sharing a brief conversation with his recently rebuilt Mr. Banana Brain doll, we learn that Quackerjack plans to reintroduce his brand of toys to the world at the expense of the gamer residents of St. Canard. Later, Darkwing and Launchpad find Mendelbaum and takes him to the tower for further study. Darkwing mentions that ever since his return, Quackerjack's crimes have been getting more ruthless and needs to be stopped before he can cause havoc with the digitizer. Wondering if someone would know of his whereabouts, Launchpad points out that the only thing Quackerjack spends most of the time with is his favorite doll. After some time spent trying to remember its name, Darkwing finds Honker bidding on an online auction where the original Mr. Banana Brain is up for sale. Though Darkwing doesn't win the bidding, Honker finds him the location of the winner's home in St. Canard. Elsewhere, Quackerjack wastes no time at Wiffle Boy Entertainment and turns the Wifflecraft employees into toys. He then boasts his plan to those who remain to hook up the molecular digitizer to the servers and turn every Wifflecraft player into his new line of Quackerjack toys. Should they refuse, they will be the ones transformed instead, and so they are forced to bring Quackerjack the servers. Darkwing and Launchpad eventually find the house of the auction winner, a young woman named Claire. Darkwing explains the situation to Claire, and she admits that she bought Mr. Banana Brain for her boyfriend, who is actually Quackerjack. While Darkwing is appalled, Claire explains to him that Jackie is actually a nice guy. Or at least he used to be. She then recounts the story of Quackerjack's time working for Quackworks' toy department. At first he was excited for the job, but over time he started feeling underappreciated for his work and began slipping into depression and anger over his ideas getting rejected and his coworkers getting all the attention. Unable to take the constant rejection, Quackerjack eventually snapped. When Mr. Banana Brain arrives, Claire explains that she had hoped to reunite Quackerjack with his old friend so that he could remember who he used to be. Gosselin then calls Darkwing and informs him of what is happening at Wifflecraft. Inspired by Claire's story, Darkwing agrees to help save Quackerjack from his own anger. Back at Wifflecraft, Quackerjack is getting impatient and decides to zap a few of the employees to speed things up. As he chats with his new Mr. Banana Brain, Darkwing arrives with his usual introduction before suddenly pulling out the old Mr. Banana Brain. At first, Quackerjack calms down enough to put his newer doll aside, but then the servers arrive and he immediately throws the old Banana Brain to the ground. While Darkwing is incapacitated by the toy transformed employees, Quackerjack hooks up the digitizer to the servers, unaware that the two Banana Brain dolls are sitting on the wiring and are being exposed to the electrical current. The two Banana Brains suddenly grow to giant size and begin arguing and fighting with each other over Quackerjack's attention, with old Banana Brain trying to get Quackerjack to remember how things used to be, and new Banana Brain driving the villain to continue with his plan. During the struggle, Darkwing takes the digitizer and zaps the dolls back to normal, knocking Quackerjack out of the building in the process. However, he is nowhere to be found outside when Darkwing comes out to look. With Wifflecraft safe, Darkwing talks with Launchpad about what he would have liked to say to Quackerjack. That it's not good to be a toy to your own anger, not when there's people thinking of you. At Claire's house, she is shocked to see a Quackerjack doll sitting on her doorstep. Having turned himself into a toy with a miniature digitizer, Quackerjack sadly admits to Claire through an attached note that, "This is the best I'll ever be." So that was the comic book storyline, Toy With Me. If it wasn't already apparent from the cover, this story was somewhat written as its own version of the Killing Joke, replacing the Dark Knight with Darkwing and the Joker with Quackerjack, and for that, I love it. This is definitely one of the best Darkwing comics I've ever read. I highly recommend it to anyone who's a fan of the terror that flaps in the night. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what your thoughts on the story are. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video. Catch y'all later.